Welcome back to the Mom's View. We're so excited to be together, chatting with you guys today. What's new?
Summertime. We just got back from a 21 Pilots concert in Phoenix. People were like, why'd you go to Phoenix? They were in Salt Lake.
They were?
They were, but we were in Yosemite during that time. So I'm like, we were desperate because I was like, I know that would mean so much to Shay to go. So I bought him tickets for Father's Day to go. And we went to Phoenix because that was the next.
And that's not a long flight either.
It was a short flight.
Was it so hot?
It was so hot.
Oh man,
And we laid out by the pool and it was still so hot. It's like you have to dip in the pool every like 2 minutes or you're roasted.
I saw like a viral video showing a guy making steaks on like a pan on the street because it was so hot in Phoenix. I'm like, we'll pray for you, Arizona. Sorry, it's so hot.
It's like record hot temperatures, really, really hot. But it was such a good concert. It was amazing. Like we were the weirdos that had the mask.
That's what I was just gonna ask you. I was like, what is that?
Well, they have a couple of their music videos where they wear the mask, and I don't know. It's super like emotionally in there that I can't really express here. But yeah, we wore the masks. So.
Did you buy them there or did you like buy
No,
them
I ordered them.
You're awesome. That's so awesome.
Shay was like, I want to wear the mask. And I'm like, why not? Yeah. I went on a girls' day with the girls the other day, and Avia made me be 13. She goes, Mom, today you're 13. You're not a mom. You're going to climb on the playground. You're going to do all this stuff with me because you're 13, okay? None of this crap. Like, she gave me a lecture. I'm like, okay, I'm 13. So I gave myself permission to be 13 at the concert, too. And it was so much more fun than it would have been had I been the age I am. I'm not going to say.
You know what? That is so smart to just, like, give yourself a day to be the most immature that you could be.
It was really fun, and I don't even care who was looking at me.
No. Just be, like, carefree and
have no inhibitions that, like, you're worried about.
Yeah.
Good for you. That's awesome.
It was fun. How about you guys?
We went to Disneyland for, it happened that I had a work trip on our engagement anniversary, so that was fun. It was like exactly to the year of when Jackson proposed to me at Disneyland, so it was really fun. It was just so hot, and Jackson and I were like, never again are we going to Disneyland in the summer, because it's just so hot. And I felt like, and everybody is like in zombie mode. They're like stuffed full of bad food and just hot and like walking around like nobody knows what they're doing. I swear I wanted to be like, are we in Zombieland right now? Because everybody was just like hot and bloated, and you know that feeling when you just don't know what to do with yourself?
That's hilarious.
I was just walking around laughing, and Jack's like, what are you laughing at? I'm like, look at everybody, they're in zombie mode. And he was like, you're right. And everyone was just like, like, is this a prank? But anyways, that was really fun, and we always love going to Disneyland, and Cooper had a little meltdown about Tower of Terror.
Oh, really?
It's like his nemesis. He like will not go on it. And then finally he was like, okay, Mom, I'll go, I'll do it. And then the morning of, he had like flu-like symptoms, like was having a fever.
Like he was so scared.
Well, I just thought he was not feeling well, and then all of a sudden it like dawned on me. I'm like, are you working yourself up about, so long story short, we didn't do Tower of Terror, and we just like, I'm like, I will never cross that bridge with you again. It's fine. But he like worked himself up into a sickness.
Oh my God. He's so cute.
You are hilarious, Cooper.
Yeah, we took Brock on that once for like a video, and his face, it was like, what was I thinking? Because he wanted to do it, but then once he did it, he was like, oh, that was the worst thing in the whole world.
I can't tell if it's like the theme that scares him, like how scary it is, or if it's like the actual drop. Because he goes on Space Mountain and Splash Mountain, and there I feel like is equally scary, but I think it's like the theme is what he kept saying was scary.
I actually don't like that ride. I don't like Tower of Terror.
I love it. It makes my belly tickle, like the
Oh,
butterflies.
yeah. I just don't like it.
But now they're redoing it to
really?
Guardians of the Galaxy. They're gonna like close it and rechange it. Yeah.
Cool. So Cooper will love that.
So maybe like it'll be something. I don't know if it's gonna be like the same like type of a ride or if they're totally redoing it. If you guys know, let us know.
Ooh, that's so interesting.
That is interesting because that hasn't changed in years.
I know, it's like an oldie.
Like since it started, really.
Yeah, well, we just got back from camping and we bought a new trailer house and I'm in love with it.
It's nice. I love it.
It was so fun. It was much needed. And we were there, I just remembered like how important camping is to my family. It's something that Casey and I love to do together. And we've kind of like, we've always gone camping every year, but this camping trip was just like a really special camping trip. I feel like the whole family like reconnected and it was like, yes, this is what we love and we love spending time together. And it was a lot of fun. We were there for 8 days.
That's so fun.
And my parents were there for a while and my sister and my brother.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun and we did a lot of swimming. And this year I feel like I conquered 2 fears.
Oh, really?
One fear was snakes. Not that I encountered snakes. I'm so scared of snakes that I like don't ever dare like go through the weeds. But my kids loved playing in the river, and so I would take my chair down and sit in the weeds and let them play. And normally I wouldn't do that because I would be so terrified that a snake would like slither up. Yeah, so I tried to like conquer that fear, and I feel like I did a pretty good job, although I didn't really have to like face it head on. Another fear of mine was wearing shorts. I don't wear shorts. I hate my legs. I don't like the shape of them. It doesn't matter if I feel like I'm heavier or smaller. I just don't like my legs. Yeah. And I also wore a swimsuit the whole time, which is another thing that I don't feel comfortable doing. I just don't like to show my body because I don't feel comfortable. But this camping trip, I was just like, I want to play with the kids and I want to get in the water. And it's also a little more intimidating because we're always vlogging, and it's like, oh, are they going to get a bad angle? Or, you know, the family's always taking pictures, and I'm always so worried about someone seeing me. And this camping trip, I just thought, I want to have fun with my kids, and I want to wear a swimsuit, and I don't want to even think about it. And I even wore shorts like when we weren't swimming, and I felt like really good. I was like, okay, this is good. And I was hot, and then I wasn't wearing pants, and I wasn't hotter. And so I feel like those two things, this camping trip, I conquered. I feel good. And then I got on Facebook when I got home, and I saw a video that you posted.
I love that so much.
And I was like, I felt so connected. I was like, yes. It is such a good feeling when you are able to just let go and enjoy the moments that you'll never get back. There are so many years that I didn't swim with my kids. I didn't go down slides at the water park. I didn't swim. I just sat on the side and watched. And I wish I could go back and just swim. And I'm not going to let that happen anymore. And it does take a long time, I think, for a lot of us to get there and just to feel comfortable. So I think that we should show that video and watch that video and then talk more about it.
Yeah.
So after watching that, I related with her when she said, like, I don't deserve to be in a swimsuit. I don't belong. And I remember feeling that so often, just like sitting there and I don't belong, and looking out and seeing all of these beautiful moms with their beautiful bodies. And then when you just let go and you just let yourself be in that moment, you're happy, and the last thing that you're worried about is how you look. And you appreciate your body. And I think that that's the most important thing when you're feeling insecure, is just to stop and appreciate everything that your body does for you, that you are able to play with your kids. And this is something that I've started to have to tell Braylee, because she's now getting to the age where she's more self-conscious. She's worried about this and that and how she looks. And I tell her nonstop to be grateful for her body, to be grateful that she can run, to be grateful that she can cheer, to be grateful for this beautiful body that she is blessed to have, and that it is our responsibility to take care of it. She was saying, I want to start running so that I can lose weight. And I was like, no. And Casey and I were like, no, you're so beautiful. You don't need to focus on losing weight. It is good to exercise because it's good for your body. And we need to take care of our bodies. And so those things that I tell Braylee, I'm like, okay, instead of filling my mind with negative things, I need to fill my mind with that. Whenever I think something negative about myself.
Like gratitude.
Yeah, just being grateful because we are really, really lucky to have the bodies that we have.
It is such, like, shame is such a huge thing. Like, it's like we feel shame if we do something, we feel shame if we don't do something. We feel, it's like when you do put yourself out there sometimes, then you, like, recoil and shrink because you feel like, oh, I'm not worthy, I can't do this, I definitely can relate to those, like, in so many different aspects, not even just bodies, but, I felt that way with skiing. Like, I finally was just like, what am I holding back? Why can't I go skiing with my husband? Like, it's been 13 years, and his passion that he does every year that he loves, like, I've never done it with him because it's just so scary. It's like I'm ashamed of not being able to do it or being afraid of going down the hill, and it's just like, you have to just live life and stop letting your mind stop you from living.
I literally had a dream last night that we were all skiing together. That's so weird when you said that. I was like, and in my dream I was asking you to teach me because this last year, you had just started going, right? Again, this last year. And Jackson I had snowboarded and skied a little when I was younger. Casey and Shay tried to teach me, bless their hearts. But then the last time I had snowboarded, I was like in 8th grade. And so then same thing, I had the same feeling, like Jackson's a skier. He lived in Utah. He skied all the Utah mountains. And I was so afraid because Casey and Logan and Shay are all so good at those snow sports. And I'm like, I remember feeling like I had something in common with you guys because none of us had done it. So I was like, at least I got my sisters. We can like sit on the bunny hill together and just be terrible. But then this last year we went and Colette was doing like her skis were this tight and her butt looked so good. And I was like, how did she pick that up so fast? And she was like, I just have been going. And so funny because in my dream I was like, will you teach me how to ski, Colette? And you were like teaching me how to keep my
So that's what you'll have to do this winter. Teach us how to ski.
Teach us how to ski. Teach us how to ski. But you were really good in my dream, so thanks for that. When you said that, it just struck the memory. I was like, oh my gosh, I dreamed about that last night. Yeah. Funny.
Thank you. Yeah, I just feel like it was finally something that I'm like, I have to get over this fear. And it took me like, we went probably, 7 times, and every time I was terrified. And I knew I would be. It was like, okay, you're going to have to face that fear again today. You're going to have to face it again today. And then it just got better and better and better. But like, and I definitely had days where I was screaming at Shay. I hate you. Why would you make me do this? But of course, he didn't make me do it. I did it willingly because I really wanted to overcome that fear. And I think there's so many things in life that I've related to now that I've decided, okay, it's time to overcome those fears. It's time to become who I want to be, not just who I see that I want to become. Like, it's time to do that, and it was interesting as you were talking about, or as I was watching that video and seeing the woman looking at the woman who is with the 3 kids, because I remember feeling like, when I was a fitness instructor and I was working my butt off to, exercise, and I feel like part of that was coming from a place of I really, really enjoyed exercise and I loved being in that health and fitness world, but a part of it came from not loving my body.
Yeah, it is so crazy how that's such a fine line.
It is, and it's like I would get skinnier and skinnier and more muscles, and I would still see myself in the mirror and find that one part about myself that was not okay. Yeah. And it was like I was trying so hard, and it was like, why am I trying so hard? What am I trying to do? Yeah. Like, just let go.
Because I even feel like even if we reach that aspect of like your 6-pack, it wouldn't be enough because then there would be another goal and another goal. And I think that's like fitness and health and nutrition is such a fine line between dangerous and healthy. And
it's psychological. Yes. It's all psychological. Like you have to be able to look at your body in whatever stage or phase or place or age you're in and love it.
Right. It has to be such a balancing because it can become obsessive and unhealthy. And like you said, like just I remember the same way I was going to CrossFit 3 times a week and preparing for the marathon, running like almost up to 30 miles a day. I got down to like really low weight, and it wasn't unhealthy. It was very healthy, but I still remember not feeling ever like, well, it was like I was putting off feeling better about myself until I reached a certain goal. And then I realized that I spent so much of my life and time doing those amazing, incredible things that I was like waiting for something to happen so that I could love myself. And I think we've all felt that, like, well, when I lose 20 pounds, then I will feel confident. When I can fit into this bikini, then I'll feel good about myself. And I think that's so dangerous, and it's like been a big reality for me, because it's like, how much of our lives have we spent wasting away waiting to love and accept ourselves, when really, even when we get to that point, is it truly that moment that's going to give us self-acceptance, or is it really just that switch inside of us that's like, even if I'm not in the bikini, or I am, I need to accept myself no matter what? Because we're not guaranteed 20 days down the road or a month down the road. We're guaranteed now. And I don't say that because I feel like I'm good at it. It's something that I feel like I have to walk myself through a lot. Because I don't know what it is, but I do think something with health and fitness is you do feel better about yourself. Like, you take a good walk, you feel better. You feel cleared, you feel the endorphins, and that is healthy. That's a great thing. But that can also push you and propel you into your next workout. But like you said, like, the more I focused on the physical outside and not like how I'm feeling, the more I started to beat myself up, and it became more of a punishment. You know what I'm saying? Like, push yourself and work
Like,
yourself
you're
to
not
the
good
bone.
enough
Yeah,
still.
like, I didn't do a good enough workout, and it was like, that's still not healthy, you know? So
Yeah, and isn't it crazy to realize that that is just something that it is in our minds? Like, Braylee, I don't know where it comes from, but that's what she's thinking already. Like, I want to run to lose weight. I was just like, where is this coming from? Because I've tried really, really hard to make sure that she knows exercise is to feel good. When she goes to cheer, she's getting stronger, and that's amazing, and you feel good. I've tried so hard to make sure that she knows that, because I don't want her to have that negative relationship with exercise, but still somehow it's there.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is a good time to like start bouncing ideas off of you guys, but do you feel like we live in a society where our self-appearance and our self-acceptance is based off of how others perceive us? So the way that others perceive us is based on our happiness. If they think I'm skinny, if they think I'm pretty, if they think I'm this, then I'm a great person, then I'm accepted, then I'm loved. I feel like that's really saturated in the world we live in, because if we really like hone in and focus on the fear, which is the comments in the vlogs of, oh, Kayli looks this way, or like what you were afraid of, or, you know, those things that we see about ourselves, that fear. I feel like we can eliminate it if we all just started to accept that we all have flaws, and we don't need to point them out. So people in the comments who say mean things, or maybe that lady at the pool, maybe she was the nanny and those weren't even her 3 kids. You never know. And maybe she hasn't even ever had a baby, or
maybe she still hates herself.
yeah, maybe she's suffering from over-exercising and undernourishing her body. And it's like, I think if we all just talked more about vulnerability, of that we all have flaws, we all have things that we want to change, that could be negative. Why don't we all focus on the things that we love about ourselves, and all realize that nobody is like perfectly set, no matter what they look like or feel or make, or vice versa.
I think it comes down to like forgiveness, like not only forgiving others for judging you, but forgiving yourself. Like, people are going to perceive the world how they're going to perceive it, and whether they project it onto you or not, like, you have the power to stay present and stay out of allowing that to affect you. And it's like a learned process, I feel like. But like, the more I've been reading and trying to combat my own fears and my own shame and things that I deal with emotionally, which I realize, like, it's mostly in your head. Like, I feel like when we went to that Tony Robbins event, he talked about how, like, we all have the same needs. Like, our biggest fears is that we're not good enough, and we all want to be loved. And so, like, everything that we do, like the shame that we feel for our bodies, like, it stems from that underlining fear, like not being good enough. And it's like, we're afraid that maybe that's true. Maybe I'm not good enough. So what can I do to make myself good enough? But really, like, we are good enough right now in this moment. Like, we don't need anybody else. We don't need to change ourselves in any way. Like, we are everything that we're meant to be right now. And like, I believe in God. I believe that God made us the way we are for purpose, and we just have to wake up and love what he created instead of fighting against it.
Amen. Amen, sister. Amen. That is true.
I just tell myself that every day.
Well, I mean, and let's be brutally honest. Some days it's hard. It's hard to do that. Some days it's not all rainbows and butterflies. It's not like any three of us don't struggle with that. But the good news is we have moments like this where we can be vulnerable. And I think that's a beautiful thing, that we are honest about it. And that as much as maybe you guys watching like think that they are the most perfect, beautiful, skinny, well put together human beings, it is true, but they also have moments where we all feel the complete opposite. And we need more moments like this where it's like, hey, we're all in this together. We've all gone through those emotions of feeling like no matter how something looks on the inside, like outside you never know what's going really on the inside. Something that like a tip for me that helps, I don't remember what episode we were talking about it, but I think it was about, you were talking about having Braley, remember? And I just like broke down into tears and like, I was like, I did not mean on that happening. And something that I've realized now is no matter how much you shame yourself or you hate yourself or you focus on the things you don't like, that won't change it. It's never gonna change it. Nobody will love you more because you hate yourself more. That's never gonna happen. So I think that the thing that's like worked for me is practicing the hardest thing, which is acceptance and like letting go of the fear. And oh, is it hot in here? Like it's just making my eyes flutter. But that's been like my biggest thing is like, no matter how much I hate myself or focus on it or like drive that deep down into my heart, like I know I'm never gonna truly accept feeling that way. And it's like this weird internal thing that you have going on. And I think as soon as you stop talking like that to yourself, it's freeing. And you have to practice. Like it's not easy. You have to practice looking in the mirror and being like, I'm great. And if that's all you can say for the day, that's better than saying I'm not great. So
right, and it's something that you have to work on every single day. And like I said, talk to yourself like you would your daughter, someone that you love more than anything in the world. That's how we should love ourselves, and that's how we should talk to ourselves. So when you start filling your mind with that negativity, just force yourself to stop that. And look at yourself and be grateful and love what you have.
You know, and I think it's okay. Like, I've definitely had prayers where I'm like, Heavenly Father, I can't tell myself I love myself today. I need help, you know? Like, I can't even do it. And it's hard. But you have to know that that's okay. Whatever stage you're in, whatever place you're in, it's okay, and you're not alone.
Yes. We're all in this together.
We
think you're beautiful.
It's just really hot outside. Something about that summer, you know. Well, I feel empowered, you guys. Thanks for sharing those moments, those little vulnerable moments.
Love yourself. Forgiveness.
I don't know if you guys have seen it. Am I the only one who watches weird internet videos going on? But there's like a guy, I want to say he's down in New York. I think he's naked or close to naked. And he has this sign and he's like, just in boots and I think just maybe a little underwears. And he's like, love yourself, accept yourself.
Should we do a parody to that?
And accept our bodies. But like, I don't remember where I saw that, but I'm like, as funny and maybe as strung out on drugs as he is, maybe he's not. But like, I love watching it because it's like he's literally in just combat boots and a tiny underwear holding the sign. And it was so cute. I'm like, good for him. It's so true.
Yeah. And what I love about that is, I don't know, I was thinking about the girl in the video and how like she's going to go to the pool. There will be people that will judge her. There's always going to be people that'll judge her. But just like that guy, like you just have to be able to realize that they're in a negative place and they're judging you because they're not happy with themselves. Like really that is true. Like hands down, that is the truth. And you have to know that it matters what you think about yourself, not what anybody else thinks. Because there will always be judgers. Judgersons.
But also like on that flip side, I think that's such a good point to touch on. But even if you had 100 million people telling you that you looked beautiful, that you looked great, that they loved your swimming suit, I think that it doesn't matter if it's 100 negative or 100 positive. If you don't know how you feel about yourself with either or, nothing is going to be the tipping point for you. Like it might make you feel more confident and it might make you feel better, but really it has to come from your relationship deep within you. Because, and I think I've talked to you, I don't know you guys about it, but like even with comments on the video, I'm like, if the good comments on videos don't make YouTube for me, then the bad ones can't break it for me either. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to rely to stay neutral within that boundary and like just love yourself despite good or bad. But I love that you pointed that out. Like it sucks, but we do live in that world where maybe you do accept yourself and you go out, but don't It's so hard because it's like, it's sending your kids out into the world. You know that no matter how much you've prepared them, they are going to face those days where people are jerks and they suck and they're going to be mean to them.
Yeah.
But those are moments I feel like we can learn from, and maybe you'll cry about it, but hopefully it makes you stronger.
Yeah.
So
I've been reading books by Brene Brown because of you guys, listening to them. And she mentioned, speaking of children, when they're going through a hard time, just to be in that moment with them.
Yes.
Just to be there with them. You don't need to make it better for them. You just need to be there and understand. And I just had a mom reach out to me on Facebook, and her son is struggling with an eating disorder. And I was so grateful that I had read that, because that's what I told her. Just be with him and just understand, because that's what we need, is just love and understanding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We need someone sometimes just to be with us. So
Yeah.
that's what I think with our kids, because I'm terrified for middle school and what's to come. And that's all I can think. Like, I'll just be there with them.
Is it hot for you too?
I'm here.
Dang it.
I think that's so true, because as a parent, I feel like sometimes when we I don't know, when we lecture our kids or we lash out or we get upset about stuff like that, it's because we're afraid.
Yeah.
It's because of that fear. Like, you don't want to have to watch them struggle like that and suffer, and that can have so much power to just like let go of the fear and to just be with them and be there, and not try to project your judgment on it to like fix it, because you can't. Like, you just have to love them.
And that's so hard.
It's so hard
not to be like,
sometimes.
I will go to that school and I will find every single one of those kids. It's like, you just have to be. And she mentioned how she did that with her daughter, and then something happened with her, and her daughter was there with her.
Yes.
So they learned so much from us. Yeah. And if they see that we can just be with them, then they'll be able to just be with us. And that's such a beautiful connection that you can have with your children.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I think it's a deeper issue too. I think that like codependency comes from that. You know what I'm saying? As moms, our intentions are great. Of course, we don't ever want to, in reality, we're not trying to win our kids' battles for them. But as a mom, it's like the scariest part about being a parent is, knowing your kids are hurting. It's the worst thing in the entire world, especially when it's emotional. And the first thing you want to do is relieve that pain. Your child gets burned. What are you going to do? You're going to try to relieve that pain physically. It's the same thing emotionally, if not worse. It's like you want to do anything you can, say anything you can to dive in there and take that pain away from them. And it's like in those moments, it's so hard to not try to offer advice or fix it, because that's all we're trying to do is relieve their burdens. But I think that, if we keep doing that for our children, when they get to a point in their lives where we're not there anymore, they're going to be dependent upon us doing that for them. So that's when I feel like kids start to go down that road of like, well, maybe I'll start drinking, or maybe I'll spend money, or, that's where those bad habits come in, eating, not eating, where they're trying to emotionally cope with the problem that they haven't been empowered to fix themselves. And so I think when she mentions that in her book, like, just be there in that moment with them, it actually empowers our kids to be able to like figure out the situation for what it is, even though it's the hardest thing in the whole world, not to go in and be like, I'll fix this for you, it's fine.
I think that's hard as a parent too, because we feel like we need to have it all together in order to help our kids. But to realize like we're still in this together, like we don't ever have it all put together, and we don't need to feel that way. Because I remember as a kid thinking, oh, my parents have it all together. And now I'm like, I know how they feel now. Like, they did not have it all together, and they still don't have it all together, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Because we're in it to help each other, not to like, yes, I can fix your problems because I'm the parent. No, it's like we're here together and you're family because we're meant to help each other through these things.
I think it's always so good to be really, really honest with our kids too. If I'm having a bad day and they're acting out, then I'll remind them that I'm a person too. And that, we're all just like, I know I'm the mom, but I'm a person too, and I'm trying my hardest today, and I need you guys. And I think that it's just always good to keep that open and honest, and
That's so true.
and let them know, like, I don't have it together.
And I feel like that's freeing for them too, because they can feel like, oh, I love you, Mom. Like, they can feel like, oh, I can help her too.
Yeah.
So I think that's good.
And I just think like that family bond, knowing like, I make sure to tell my kids like, we're a family and we each play a part in making everything good and special and work. We are all in this together, and we all have to do and try our hardest. So that's what I try to do. But
You're doing a good job.
I feel like I'm just blabbering right now.
We all are. That's all we can do, but it's good.
I think this was really good to talk about, and it kind of went in a different direction, and I do think that there's more that we could say to this, and so I think it would be good to talk about this again. Let us know if you would like to, or if you have anything to add to today's topic.
Yeah, we'll always be hanging out down in the comments below. So if we like hit on something you guys want to talk about, just let us know, and we'll be there chatting with you guys. So
And remember to love yourself.
Yes, and know that we love you. We think you're amazing, and we are all in this together. That is what I love about the Moms View. I really feel a deep, deep connection with, of course, you guys and all of you guys watching. We love you so much. Thank you for watching. See you next time.